Could the Lakers be eyeing the most underrated superstar in the NBA to complete their championship puzzle? What if Lauri Markkanen, the 6 feet 11 inches sharpshooter who's been quietly dominating in Utah, is exactly what Los Angeles needs to transform from playoff contenders into title favorites alongside Luka Doncic and LeBron James? Andy Bailey from Bleacher Report has proposed a blockbuster trade that would send shockwaves to the Western Conference. The Lakers acquiring Lauri Markkanen from the Utah Jazz in exchange for Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, Maxi Kleber, Dalton Knecht, plus their 2026 first-round pick, a 2028 first-round pick swap, and their 2032 first-round pick. It's an aggressive package, but for a player of Markkanen's caliber, it might be exactly what championship aspirations demand. The basketball fit is absolutely tantalizing. Markkanen brings elite shooting at 6 feet 11 inches, the ability to stretch defenses to their breaking point, and the versatility to play both forward positions seamlessly. Last season, even while playing for the league's worst team in Utah, he averaged 19.0 points and 5.9 rebounds per game, while shooting 42.3% from the field and 34.6% from three-point range. Those numbers become even more impressive when you consider he was operating as the primary offensive option on a rebuilding team. Combining his finishing ability with Luka Doncic's playmaking would make him one of the most dangerous scorers in the league, Bailey wrote, and it's hard to argue with that assessment. The pick-and-pop possibilities between Doncic and Markkanen will be absolutely devastating for opposing defenses. Imagine Luka driving to basket, collapsing the defense, and finding Markkanen spotting up for three-pointers from anywhere on the court. What makes this trade particularly compelling is the timeline alignment. At 28 years old with a contract running through 2028 to 29, Markkanen would almost certainly outlast LeBron in Los Angeles while serving as the perfect long-term complement to Doncic's prime years. This isn't just about winning now. It's about setting up sustained success for the next half-decade. The versatility factor cannot be overstated. Unlike Austin Reeves, whose skill set can sometimes overlap with what Doncic and LeBron provide, Markkanen brings something completely unique to the Lakers' roster construction. His ability to play both the 4 and 5 positions while providing elite shooting and solid rebounding would give Coach J.J. Redick incredible flexibility in his rotations and matchup planning. From Utah's perspective, this trade makes perfect sense for a team clearly committed to rebuilding. They finished with the worst record in the NBA last season at 17-65, and Markkanen represents their most valuable trade asset. Getting multiple first-round picks plus young talent like Reeves and Knecht will accelerate their timeline while providing the draft capital necessary for a complete roster overhaul. The financial aspects work beautifully for both teams. Markkanen's $46.4 million salary this season is significant, but it's also reasonable value for a player of his production level. The Lakers will be getting a legitimate all-star caliber player who can contribute immediately while also fitting their long-term plans around Doncic. Defensively, Markkanen brings size and mobility that would help address some of the Lakers' perimeter vulnerabilities. While he's not an elite defender, his length and basketball IQ make him a solid team defender who can hold his own in multiple schemes. Paired with DeAndre Ayton in the front court, the Lakers would have legitimate size and athleticism to compete with any team in the Western Conference. The spacing this trade would create is absolutely mouth-watering for Lakers fans. A starting lineup of Doncic, Marcus Smart, LeBron James, Markkanen, and Ayton would feature multiple players who can shoot from deep while also providing diverse scoring options in the half-court. Defenses would have no choice but to respect the three-point threat from multiple positions, creating driving lanes for both Doncic and LeBron. What's particularly intriguing is how this move would position the Lakers compared to their Western Conference rivals. While teams like Denver and Phoenix have made their own significant moves, adding Markkanen would give Los Angeles a legitimate big three that could compete with anyone. The combination of Doncic's playmaking, LeBron's experience, and Markkanen's scoring versatility will be incredibly difficult to game plan against. The playoff implications are enormous. Markkanen has proven he can elevate his game in high-pressure situations, and his shooting ability becomes even more valuable in the postseason when defenses tighten and every possession matters. Having a legitimate three-point threat at his size would create mismatches that opposing teams simply couldn't solve consistently. This trade also represents smart asset management by the Lakers. While giving up multiple first-round picks is significant, they're acquiring a player entering his prime who fits perfectly with their timeline and playing style. Sometimes you have to be aggressive when championship windows are open, and this move would demonstrate total commitment to maximizing their current core. The depth chart implications are fascinating too. Markkanen's versatility would allow the Lakers to experiment with different lineup combinations depending on matchups and game situations. He could play the 5 in small ball lineups or slide to the 4 when they need more traditional size, giving them tactical flexibility that few teams can match. From Markkanen's perspective, joining a championship contender alongside established superstars will be incredibly appealing. He spent his career on rebuilding teams, and the opportunity to compete for titles while playing in Los Angeles would represent the perfect career progression. The question isn't whether Markkanen would make the Lakers better. He absolutely would. The question is whether they're willing to be aggressive enough to make this type of franchise-altering move when the opportunity presents itself. Do you think the Lakers should pull the trigger on this blockbuster trade for Markkanen? Would he be the missing piece that puts them over the top as championship favorites? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you think this move would create the perfect Big Three in Los Angeles, make sure to hit that like button. Sometimes the most obvious upgrades require the biggest commitments.